because it feels to me like such an obvious one. That's a little bit surprising. I mean, Targamas did play a bike game, but I'm a little bit surprised by the HLE bans.
Well, I guess
Bit
because
of a question mark can be pretty spooky if that cannon can find the perfect engage.
Well, Delight spots everyone out here as they do eventually move over. Can take the body slam, of course, as Peanut's moving in as well.
What is he doing?
I don't know. He's sort of just auto-moving into the brush. He's going to be lit on fire. There's that ignite that you were talking about as he flashes over the wall. Yike now as well in a really weird position. First blood goes over to Peanut. Yike is going to have to flash, but the immediate follow is there from Zeus, who might be starting the game with another one. Yep, there we go. The hook shot comes off cooldown and he takes...
Easily kills.
And the thing that I'm thinking is the fact that the early game that was so awful feels like a nightmare now, not actual, like, real League of Legends. So that's a phenomenal thing here for KC. They're also able to get themselves where they really did abuse the Galio this time around. Hasn't been the case at all. And he's been doing just fine as Delight going to find a body slam, and Canna going to be delivered to the hook shot. Nowhere that he can go, and that is just a very comfortable kill here for Viper.
No,
also,
you can't actually just have free farm against the Galio. We're just going to keep moving the cannon around to keep you locked in this lane, which I do think is very intelligent because you are on a timer a little bit in this matchup, and they want to make sure they're keeping Zeus down for as long as humanly possible. You can't let him just farm against the Galio.
Wow, that sidestep was absolutely absurd. The charm going to connect onto Connor as well. Throws down the ulti though, and Zeka taking a lot of damage. Heroic entrance as well, but it's not enough. Peanut is able to lock down the kill before the gargoyle arrives. Does get the flash out from Peanut though, as he wanted to avoid the taunt. Another charm connecting here as it's magnetic.
Even more important than it would normally be because you're already falling behind, and if you lose those stacks too, it is going to be so hard to battle back.
You can see there on his portrait the adoration ticking over towards 300 pretty soon.
Again, many tools, but you can see as well, Hanwha Lifer, I feel like playing around it very careful. Oh, Kana.
Well, he was thinking about going for a bit of a back here and possibly baited in as there's the body slam flash from Delight. Put into the Hextech ultimatum, and Canner is just dead with the help of the turret. And Zeus able to really turn this matchup around now. Having
Kana says, oh, you're pretty chunk low. Maybe I can actually find something. Steps that little bit too far forward. Delight nails the engage, knocks him back in a tower, and there's just no chance
the bash
for him.
bros.
Oh dear. Remember, cease and desist still available as the Vault Breaker even lands. He flashes, but cease and desist says no justice for you, my friend. And he's taken down.
Decides instead he will just exit the pit.
As all right, there's a Rift Herald. Hi, Shelly, how you doing? It's just a taxi over towards the dragon.
Yeah. Wanted to make sure he was on time for the big fight.
It's actually really good.
The big fight that is definitely happening, right? Yeah.
And unfortunately, it means it's not going to get a charge out of the Herald now mid. So even if it walks up, it won't be charging. And Viper's just going to be able to clear that out. Zeus heading back up towards top side. So they may just give up this dragon and play for the tier 2 top, which I think is absolutely reasonable. You don't have to commit to this whatsoever. You're in a good spot. It's only the second dragon here from KC. You know, maybe Peanut fishes around to try for a steal, but don't need to.
Or do they just go for it anyways? The flash out from Targamas. He does avoid the charm. They take a lot of damage though. Zeka actually really hurting right now with 2 items completed. The dragon, 50 health. And it is going to be secured here by KC. Flash out from Peanut gets him to relative safety. In the meantime, outer turret in mid lane. Oh, and the cask is going to connect the charm to follow. But it's not enough to kill Targamas just yet, as the inner turret is also dead.
I love what Hanwha do there. It's literally just a free-man annoyance squad. Peanut trying to sneakily steal it away.
Yeah, because they have a lot of champions with these globals that can try and just sort of cheat away tempo. With the fact that you have the heroic entrance, the Grand Starfoil, even the whirling death that can come through, they can affect the map pretty globally. But none of that has been able to be utilized because HLE have had so much control throughout this entire game.
Or maybe top lane.
Yeah, it could be an opportunity here. Zeus with hookshot says, no, there's not an opportunity here. In fact, it's impossible to kill me.
He would have needed to hit the stand aside, right? If you can actually interrupt there, then maybe there's some sort of opportunity where you can chase in, but it's going to be so hard. It's desperation hours.
Oh, Kalist, if he dies here, it could just all be over, and he is definitely dead. Peanut. There's fists were made for talking as Yike now also in trouble. Delight with the body slam comes through. Zeus turns up as well. And Yike is also on the floor. HLE just taking him down one after the other. Another inner turret should be going down here as the minion wave is still very healthy. And is that 5 turrets?
100% dead.
And they layered it perfectly, right?
Yeah.
You know, it's Peanuts all into the root, into the Delight all, into the Body Slam, into the Vault Breaker, everything back to back to back to back. I mean, we're now at 24
Not really
towers.
He does
afraid
have,
of being
he does have
collapsed on.
Otacon right now, so
That
I
is
think he's gonna play extra aggro.
Well, they do have a ward over this wall. Will be discovered here as the control ward does go down. As Zeus not going to get justicely punched and just walks back into the taunt. There are 4 people here. Remember, does of course have the Otacon, but instead just walks away from the Comet Spear, walks back towards Kalist as he throws out the hook shot. Zeus, you are, that's all, it's bordering on rude. Honestly, that was bordering on rude. Whirling Death is not really going to connect there, and the thumbs up, a little bit of a worry as the charm is going to bring Targamas through the base gate as another taunt is going to connect, but it's even Delight that seems too tanky. He's going to withdraw, and Viper is in the enemy base. As the Xayah, they're looking to break it open here at 24 minutes. And I think HLE are pretty ready to become our first stand champions here, as game number 4 is looking nigh impossible here for KC as Vladdy not gonna get Vault Breaking. His Vault is still unbroken.
It is intact.
Although it
Everything's
has
fine.
taken a beating previously.
Okay, yeah, it really has. There's not a lot of money, unfortunately, for KC. Hanwha did kind of steal most of it. It's going to be the second dragon going over to Hanwha. But I have a very hard time, and I think we all do, writings on the wall to see how you actually get back into this game, right? No kills have been found, no turrets have been found.
Oh, Kana is dead. But there's another fight going on here, as we can see. Double body slam. There's a gorgeous cask as Delight lined him up, put him exactly where he wanted him, and no bailout is going to be enough. Yeah, you could post all the money you have, and it would not get you out of that prison. As Zeus moves into this mid lane to take down yet another inhibitor turret. Inhibitors going to be falling one after the other, as well as HLE take bottom, they take mid. They might even be able to take top lane if they get that minion wave in order, as well as the rest of them moving on over. It's very early in this game, so it's not likely to be just the end, as the inhibitor does survive somehow. Justice Punch onto Zeka. The taunt is going to connect as well. Kalist moving over, lands the stand aside, but he's charmed as the flash finally is used, and the Whirling Death is just wide. But there's the Winds of War to come on through. The immediate heroic exit here for Vladdy at the same time. It's Kalist with the bailout. Is going to take down Zeus. And cease and desist. I don't know about that one, Peanut. That was really a little bit of an overstep, you could say. And HLE probably stop going in now. It's KC. They find themselves here after losing most of their base. They're moving towards the Baron.
Yeah, they were just looking for even more, though. They're just looking to
Oh my God, another
scrap
one.
here in a 2v5. They're taking the fight.
Okay, Delight and Viper, this is, there's limit testing and there's limit testing.
They just
but they
wanna-
are moving them away from the Baron.
Well, they just want to ensure that they don't actually get to walk to Nash, which they don't. Yeah, definitely started with Zeus. I think Peanut the most egregious
He's
by
dead just yet. And what is the answer? How are you supposed to get in here outside of just Yike ulting in? He certainly could do that, as
It's
Zeus
just
wanting to
Peanut.
stop that one from happening. The cask going to be used just to remove them from the pit. And you're right, it's only Peanut that's kind of in there. Viper finally comes back and starts hitting it with some
ulting!
autos. In goes Zeus, and Yike unable to get the steal, but they're still able to get the kill onto Peanut. The answer is going to be there, and Kana, he now has that ulti on cooldown. Zeus taxis in, kills the cannon, and survives. A minute away from respawning in the mid. KC desperately trying to hold on to their chances here at first stand. Teleport is optimistic from Zeus. Let's see whether this 1v2 is
level
going to work
17.
out. He is level 17. And there is a heroic entrance. So with 3 people, it might work out. Not timing the Hextech ultimatum just right here, but the rest of HLE are going to turn up. The bailout onto Kana is going to be able to keep him alive, but he's dead immediately afterwards. And Viper says, enough of this silly business. I'm looking to try and win the game with double siege minions. Both of these Nexus turrets are going to die. Vladdy going golden, but he can't defend as the hostile takeover is fantastic, but he does have the Featherstorm still. Avoiding the feathers, though, is Vladdy. Can he get more here as Targamas is chasing after him, and Viper, man against the world, he's going to be able to take down Targamas, but there he goes, Comet Spear to take him out.
Off screen, yeah, they were a Delighted Viper were pushing. They were able to kill Kalist and then go for the game. As meanwhile,
Yeah, there's some fast and loose moves being pulled here as Zeka is going to use the ultimate, but you can see Kalist starting to do a lot of work here. That was just one of these axes, and the Ahri lost a third of her health. That is certainly good news here for KC, but they've only got one turret left remaining. Two of them are going to be respawning, but this is the last one that they can lose for real. And some inhibitors also in a little bit of trouble as Kana are going to be trying to clean things up. And here they are back once again. And the cast going to separate Targamas, but now the re-engage. The charm just going to interrupt everything as the Grand Starfall. Not exactly timed perfectly here by Yike as the full engage hadn't actually occurred from HLE. They're just going to move back. They're going to take the inhibitor in mid lane. And they're playing it a lot slower now. You can feel it.
This is a pretty marked difference in how they play.
The Baron getting pinged out here, and I imagine that HLE probably wanted to move over and grab their second one of those.
It's looking like it. Another buffer. That is so annoying.
Yeah.
But Kana playing over on that side. Zeka looking for potential flank here.
Yeah, Charm going to connect there onto Yike. Not going to invest any more than that, as we do have the re-engage onto Zeus once again, and that's the hook shot for the third time in a row.
That's flash.
And yeah, did have to use the flash, so that is certainly important.
Oh, that ward actually showing that they are currently not on the Baron, but they can tomb in this very easily. Teleport is going to come in as well just to ensure, and KC, I think rightly identified, they just can't get to that objective.
Yeah, and
Yike, maybe the steal.
This is actually, yeah, so they do get the vision. Whirling Death is going to hit Zeka, so it doesn't get towards...
to Kalist, really, trying to set him up. He does have 4 items completed now. He is kind of that strong member at this point.
Yeah,
if KC can find the perfect angle, we'll see.
Yeah, Yike is certainly off on a flank angle here as the Grand Starfall to get him in, but the immediate body slam to delay it. Viper just pulls back the feathers. There's a dead Pantheon. The 2-man body slam is gorgeous as the defensive ulti from Vladdy is trying to get things done. Hostile takeover is going to connect onto Zeka, but he goes golden in the nick of time. Targamas hit by the feathers, and now Zeus turns up, and all of KC are going to be on the floor. Their last dance in this first stand as HLE are looking to take down the Nexus for the 3rd time in this best of 5 and become your first stand champions.